Hi folks, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. It's been a while, but I'm back. My name's Raheem. Nice to be here. So today, I'm going to talk about manifestation, obviously, specifically from the lens of once you set your intention, right? Once you state your manifestation, and you're basically just waiting for it to arrive, what's going on in that interim, right? And what do you do about it? So we're going to talk about like two major things today in terms of manifesting. One is navigating triggers around what we're trying to manifest. And two is what we do when we're in the middle between setting the intention and waiting for the manifestation to arrive. Okay. So let's talk about basically what the middle, I'm just going to call it the middle for now. Okay. What the middle is. And it is Joseph Alai, is another manifestation coach. He coined it the bridge of incidents, and I like that term, so I'm going to use it for now. But I did not invent it. But the bridge of incidents is basically what Joseph Alai calls the series. Joseph Alai calls the series of events that occur basically as like a domino effect that gets you to your manifestation. And once you set the intention, once you set that manifestation and it's in action, it's already happening around you, basically. So every event that's occurring post you setting that manifestation is now that bridge of incidents that's getting you to the end. And that is what a lot of people don't understand. I think it's sort of like, they say they want the thing and they want it now. For instance, they say they want their dream job, right? And they're holding out for that dream job, but they don't take the opportunity that comes around that's meant to be the stair step that gets them to that dream job, because it isn't the dream job, right? And so then they don't take that opportunity, and now it's taking even longer. The universe has to figure something else out. And so what's important to understand about your manifestations is you don't control the timing, because there has to be that, for one thing, there's like, 7.5 billion other people more or less manifesting unconsciously around you all the time, right? And so when we see this sort of random absurdity and this random chaos and this sort of like ping-ponging of energy that happens in the universe, collision courses, things like that, it's like, well, yeah, you got 7.5 billion people all with the same power, right? Trying to manifest their dreams and doing it poorly for the most part. So, it's, and even if people weren't doing it poorly, it still takes time to get things to happen. It depends on your manifestation. It depends on what else is going on, etc. Right? And so there's this sense of like needing to let go, needing to trust the outcome, and in letting go, in trusting the outcome, and knowing that you're on the path towards whatever manifestation you're creating for yourself. What's going to keep you on that path is learning to recognize the opportunities around you as they present themselves, the synchronicities around you as they present themselves. And sometimes those come in the form that you would expect, like you're manifesting something and the right opportunity comes along and you're like, oh, I know that's related to my manifestation, right? I could use a dream job example again. Let's say you wanted a top position as an art director, and you score a job as an assistant art director, and that's gonna get you to the dream, whatever. But sometimes it's like, you want that art director position and you have to take an intern job because it gets you to meet the person that you need to meet that's gonna get you on the course to whatever next, right? And maybe it's 5 years down the line, but you need that internship, right? So things like that, they're really important to keep in mind. Don't lowball yourself, don't highball yourself, manage your expectations, know that your manifestation is coming, but what does that really look like in the grand scheme of life unfolding in front of you as you walk it, right? And so one aspect of paying attention to the signs and synchronicities is, how does the universe talk to you in your own symbolic language? That is something you have to learn over time, but with practice you learn it, because the universe basically does not like to waste energy, and it's always talking to you through your life as you live it all the time, right? And so the universe is going to talk to you in the language that you understand, because that's the easiest way for it to get its point across. Often humans aren't listening, but the universe is always trying, right? And so, what is your symbolic language? Look at all of the, all this narratives and stories that you loved through childhood. Like, what are your favorite movies? What are your favorite books? What are your favorite video games? That's a great way to kind of look into it for our generation, I think, because it's stories are told through symbols and archetypes, and those stories, when we're children, as we come up, they get absorbed into the subconscious, and so those symbols, what's a good example? Like for me, I have a lot of like sort of Alice in Wonderland-esque symbology in my symbolic language, and so it's like if I see a caterpillar, I know what that means, or something like that. So it's unique to you. One of the things that people do, which I find interesting because I also do it with a grain of salt. But it's like, if you notice that there's like an animal or an insect or something just haunting you all the time, you're like, fuck, I can't go anywhere without running into a ladybug, right? And then you look up like ladybug spirit animal and it pulls up a list. It's like, yes, there's overarching themes because collective, we have a collective consciousness, but ladybug could be unique to you in certain ways that the internet can't answer for you. Nobody can answer for you. The only thing you can do is pay attention and learn your own language and how the universe speaks to you. Okay, so if you learn the universe's language, the symbols, etc., then you kind of know what to follow in your lifetime to lead you down the path that gets you to that manifestation. Because again, the universe is trying to give you the cues, and it's a co-creation. It's like, okay, I'm going to set up on this side, but you need to walk towards it, right? You need to walk towards the manifestation. The other thing is that synchronicities and signs that you're on the right track. Sorry, let me take a sip of this. Synchronicities and signs that you're on the right track sometimes come in the form of triggers. So they don't come in the form of, oh, good luck, or oh, this is easy, or oh, this is obviously the way to go, or oh, this is the breath of fresh air I needed, oh, this is the luck I needed, right? It's not always that. Sometimes it's like, oh, I really want to be a famous musician, right? That was always mine. I want to be a famous musician, and sharing my music scares the shit out of me, right? And so then there's the trigger. The manifestation is, I'm so thankful that I'm well known for my music and that, or popular, or that my music is popular or whatever. Whatever makes sense to you in your head. I'm just using a random example. I would word it differently for my own purposes in terms of music now. But I'm just going to use this as an example. Say it's, you're trying to manifest being a popular musician or at least a working musician or something. And as you're manifesting this and moving towards it and making your music and performing or whatever, maybe you're just anxious all the time. Maybe there's random triggers, maybe things happen, maybe certain things in your life end, right? There's like weird break. Maybe you're trying to manifest, your magnum opus, like your album, like the album that really speaks from your heart. And as you decide you're going to manifest this, you're the band that you're in dismantles, right? And you're like, oh wow, I had this band, I had all this stuff going for me, I was ready to make this album, it was gonna be the one, and then everything got ripped out from under me. Holy shit, what am I gonna do now? My manifestation didn't work. That's not true. Your manifestation did work. Obviously it was not those band members, they were not gonna take you down the path you wanted to go down, right? So that's number one. And B, if you don't know what is going to trigger you before your manifestation happens, you're not going to be able to handle the manifestation when it comes into your life. And so often you ask for something and the universe either gives you the opposite and it triggers you, or it gives you exactly what you wanted and you realize that's not what you wanted in the first place, or it gives you some soft version of what you want, and you get triggered and you realize, I'm not ready for this, okay? And so triggers, what do we do? Just because you're triggered does not mean your manifestation is not working. It means it probably is. You're probably on that bridge of incidents right now, and life is triggering you to basically get you to move through those triggers to prepare yourself to be the person you need to be to receive your manifestation, right? You got to heal yourself. You got to move through those triggers. Otherwise, whatever you handle, you'll be handling it in a dysfunctional way. If you want to be a famous musician, but you can't perform without a panic attack, what are you going to do? There's ways around that. You can get through it. But you're going to have to get through it by understanding and recognizing this is the trigger, this is what's in my way, and only I can do what I need to do to get myself through the other side of this, right? And triggers are healable. They're extremely healable. I think that's the one misconception, I think, among New Age spiritualists in general, or not even spirituality. I think like mental illness, like the overarching like consciousness around mental illness, at least in this country right now, is like whatever you have, you're stuck with. If you have panic attacks, you're stuck with it. If you have depression, you're stuck with it. Whatever. No, I had depression for 13 years. I got through it, and it never came back. Right? There are ways to move through triggers. Some triggers are actually very easy to move through if you have the right modality, right? Which is something I use with my clients. But if you have other ways, I mean, there's tons of modalities. Find ways to address your triggers. Is it therapy? Is it my manifestation coaching program? Is it movement, body-based work, yoga? Is it some other form of, like emotional work? Whatever it is, make sure that you're not only noticing when you're being triggered. You know that in that moment, okay, A, I'm triggered. B, yay, right? That's a good thing. That means that my manifestation is working and that life is presenting to me what I need to address and heal to become who I need to be to receive my manifestation, right? So we got that. And then C, okay, what is triggering me in the moment? And I'm going to use the example I always use, which is like you lost your wallet, right? Okay, so you lost your wallet and you freak out. And you know that you're acting inappropriately, that you're having a hyper arousal response to losing your wallet, right? It happens to the best of us. And so in that moment, it could be easy to be really hyper focused on the losing of the wallet, right? And to just be looping about losing the wallet. And the reality is that losing your wallet's inconvenient, but it's not worth a meltdown, right? You just cancel your credit cards, maybe you go try to find it, whatever. There's things to do. It sucks, it's inconvenient, but you're an adult, right? You're grown. So, take care of it. If you're hyper aroused, if you're triggered, you can't do that. And so it's not, it's not about shaming yourself for being triggered. It's about, instead of staying in the trigger, staying in the story, letting it hyper arouse you over and over again, it's taking a step back, noticing that you're triggered. Okay, what happened? I lost my wallet. So what's the real story here? Because you're not freaking out because you lost your wallet. The wallet was the trigger, the catalyst, right, for basically triggering an old traumatic response in you that's actually rooted in something else. And so you may then, using whatever modality you use to clear your triggers, you go into that trigger, you ask, okay, what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling hyper aroused, I'm feeling anxious, I'm looping, my brain's thinking about the same thing, the same thought is just repeating itself over and over, I can't calm down, right? And then you go, okay, so why? Why am I really feeling the way I'm feeling, right? And then as you go a little bit deeper and you drop into it, you realize there's a really big scarcity story here. Maybe you grew up really poor, your family barely scraped by, you got, maybe you were like one of those like free lunch kids, and so you got your meal or whatever, but maybe you didn't get as much as you could have, maybe you didn't get the nourishment that you needed, and you didn't get the toys that other kids had, whatever, and so you've got this really big story around scarcity and fear around scarcity, and so for you, losing that wallet means certain death in that moment. It's not true, but that's what you're feeling, right? And so what you have to realize is that the way through is to actually realize, or to notice, that you have a really big childhood scarcity story that is triggering trauma responses in you that you need to move through, right? So now you know what needs to be addressed. And let's say that what you were trying to manifest that triggered the wallet, like you losing the wallet was like $1 million, for instance. Let's say like, okay, you never want to go hungry again. You decided you're going to manifest overabundance of wealth. First thing that happens is you lose your wallet, right? And so that's the universe saying, okay, you want money, deal with your scarcity story, because you can't handle money right now. You can't. And this is why, right? So that's what I mean by noticing your triggers, realizing they're actually a good thing, and then doing the actual work that is needed to move through, heal yourself, and then receive, okay? So one of the things to remember with this is that as a manifester, you're approaching life like it's a conversation, always. That you are this entity, and this universe, the entire universe, is its own entity, and you're one with that universe. You're also having this individual experience, right? So you in this universe, or you in the universe that is one with you, are in this constant conversation to craft your lifetime and the experiences you're having in this incarnation. In this incarnation. And so what does that mean? It means that every single thing in your life is basically acting as your teacher or confidant or, manifestation assistant or whatever you want to call it. I like to call it teacher because it puts me in my humility, and I don't manifest well if I'm not in my humility. So I like to address life itself with the respect that I think it deserves. And so for me, it's sort of central to this practice is approaching life in this way so that everything that occurs is a teachable moment. So everything that happens to me, I can then take a step back and ask myself, what was this trying to teach me? And this keeps me out of shame, keeps me out of judgment, keeps me out of fear pretty often, or at least, crippling fear. I have a healthy relationship with fear, which means I have fear. But it keeps me out of paralyzing fear. The fear that stops you from living your soul's purpose, it keeps me out of that fear, right? And it keeps me in this trusting conversation with the universe that makes life really easy. It really is easy once you listen, instead of trying to figure out or, do all the other things that humans do. Don't try to figure it out. Just listen to the answer. It's right there. It's all around you. The answers are all around you. You just need to listen. Take a step back, breathe, and listen, okay? So notice your triggers. Notice what life's trying to teach you. Notice your symbolic language. Notice the synchronicities that show up in your life. And in this way, you start to be able to follow the path in a way that allows you to maybe not know what you're doing, but to at least know that you don't know what you're doing so that you know who to ask, right? Which is life. Okay. So I would say that, if you want to see how you can start to get involved with this as you move out of this video, just begin to notice, my teacher calls it stone flipping, but it's basically noticing what in your life is triggering you in your day and getting to the root of those triggers. Okay, so what triggered me? Okay, great, the wallet. But then what am I actually upset about underneath? What's the real story here? What am I afraid of? And it's going to be something much deeper than that and much older, okay? And that's the work. Yeah, triggers are a good thing. Your manifestations are always occurring all the time. Your every moment is, probably the completion of one manifestation, right? And also the middle for all of your other manifestations. So just let things unfold. You've got multiple manifestations going on at the same time. Everyone does, whether you're aware of it or not. Everything we speak is technically a manifestation. And then you've got other people manifesting too. So the logic is not in a straight line. I like to call it crazy logic. It's the universe knows what's going on. You only know what pertains to you, right? So just trust the universe, let it do it, let it be kind of crazy and weird, and follow the spiral path, and let it spit you out exactly where you intended to end up. And let it look different than you thought it would look, too. Okay. I think that's all I have for you. So thank you. If you'd like to schedule something with me, you can do so in the box below. I offer my 8-week program on a one-on-one basis. You can also schedule tarot readings, astrology readings, and you can schedule one coaching session if you prefer. Okay, so that's it. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see the next video, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye. I'm moving cross country, so my schedule's a little crazy right now, so videos may come out a little bit slower. Once I'm settled in the next month or so, things will start to pick up speed again. Okay, all right, thanks. Bye.